We're out here on the farm again today. A little windy. I hope it's not too bad, but I want to talk about keys to farmland bucks. Now, I'm coming back to my small 12-acre parcel. I've hunted here for a lot of years since I've been a kid, and I'm surrounded by farmland on three sides: to my west, to my east, and to my south. Nothing but farmland for over a mile in those directions. So a lot of farmland. Now to the north, it's the hollow that runs through farmland. To the west and to the east, and, it's never farmed because it's rougher terrain. And the flat areas to the west and the east, and of course south here, because I'm at the end of the draw, are farmed and have been farmed for a lot of years. So we've got probably 70% farmland with 30% woods in this particular area for roughly 2 miles in any direction. So I consider it true farmland bucks. All right. 5 things, really 4 things. I took the first two, 1A and 1B, that I think are most important when we're talking about farmland bucks. Now, 1A, find the secure cover. If you don't have your own land and you can't manipulate it, you've got to find a secure cover. If you're leasing land or if you're asking for permission to hunt land that's farmland, focus in on the areas that have the secure cover, because when you have the farmland like this, once the crops are cut in the fall, corn's down, the deer will find the cover and they'll move from where they're living in the summer. In late summer, early fall, they'll make a movement to that cover. So you need to find the secure cover. If you own the property and you don't have cover, you need to create cover, okay? And that can be done several ways. Different things people are talking about today in terms of creating quick cover: switchgrass. A couple years you can have pretty good cover. Egyptian wheat, different plantings like that. But also, if it's proper and it's useful, hinge cutting, depending on the trees. It would all have to be considered and taking into consideration. Red maple is a good tree to hinge cut. I've got a lot of black cherry here, elms, really anything that deer will browse. They prefer certain species, particularly red maple, sassafras, things like that. But I've got a lot of honeysuckle in here too. So if you don't have the cover, you've got to find the cover or create the cover, and through hinge cutting, through switchgrass plantings, or through Egyptian wheat plantings, you can help create some cover. And inside of that cover, you can create pockets of food, like throw some clover in there, and a deer can browse on that. And then obviously evening and mornings they'll be moving in and out of that cover. So first, find the cover. If you don't have the cover, create the cover. Secondly, maintain the cover. For instance, on my small 12-acre parcel here, it used to be farmed. There used to be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 acres of it used to be 14 that was farmed. Corn, soybean, whatever it was. For many years it was farmed. There wasn't a tree growing on those particular areas. Stopped farming probably 20 years ago, maybe more. And it's been growing, that successional transition from field to brush to small trees to larger trees. I stopped it at pole timber level. I started hinge cutting. I started cutting trees out. It was so thick with black cherry that I had to cut them out. I just removed them, and that allowed light to come into the ground level, and that allowed other things to grow up. And here, what I'm looking at right now, what you're looking at behind me, we've got blackberry, we've got raspberry, we've got honeysuckle, we've got multiflora rose. You're thinking, well, that's all junk, some of that's invasive, but guess what? The deer eat it. How do I know the deer eat it? I watched them from my tree stand, years upon years, watching them eat these things. It's good deer browse. It's cover, it's browse within the cover, and that's what you want. So maintain that cover. I do it by cutting trees totally out most of the time. Probably 95% of the time I'm cutting trees totally out. There was a section to the northeast of my property the last couple years. I started hinging because it was red maple. It was totally red maple. There really wasn't anything growing in there other than red maple. I hinged it for 2 reasons. To create a screen, because I'm following my eastern property line to get to my stand that's to the north of the property. So it's a screen. Also, deer like to browse red maple. Okay, so most of the time I'm cutting trees totally out, allowing light to get to the ground, allowing early growth to occur, allowing for more deer browse to regenerate. So it's a repeating cycle. I do it year after year. Every winter, January, February, I'm in here selecting certain trees. Once they get bigger and they reach a level 8-10 inches in size, I cut them out. We've got too many black cherry in here. What's the result of that? I'm seeing other species pop up: walnut, elm, sassafras, maple, hard maple, soft maple, that's red maple, sugar maple, and a variety of other trees. There's some crab apple. There's just a ton of different things that are popping up and taking the places of trees that I've cut out because I've created those openings. Okay, so maintain the cover. That's number 2. Number 3, provide food at the right time. I don't plant anything anymore in the summer. Nothing. What I do on this small property, I create food plot trails. Food plot trails. Basically, where I want the deer to go, I plant it. And that's where I put my stands. I enhance that further. I've talked about this in other videos. I've enhanced that further with mock scrapes, licking branches and licking vines. 2 of them this year, actually 1, 2, 3 of them this year. No, 4 of them this year, because I have pretty much at every stand, the deer really blew up. We're talking 3-4 foot area that they really scraped out. They were working it. I've got photos, I've got video of these deer working these areas. Unfortunately, none of us harvested a buck here this year. We had some opportunities. We ended up harvesting deer other places, but there were a lot of opportunities. And obviously, small property like this, I don't hunt it that heavily. So you've got to come in at the right time, the right opportunity, and make the harvest. Okay, you do that by providing the food at the right time. And number 4, probably of all of these, the most important thing, with the exception of cover, to be secure, you've got to eliminate the pressure. If you eliminate the pressure, the deer will come. Earlier on, when I started hunting this property, once I turned 18 plus, and that's over 20 years ago, I didn't do anything. I just stayed away from it. I realized staying away from it, the deer will come. And the deer did come. And really the first couple years that I hunted the property without doing anything, 3 years in a row I harvested bucks. Now they weren't giant bucks, but yet I had bucks on a property. Were there giant bucks on a property? Yes. Were there giant bucks moving through the property on a regular basis? Yes. Why? Number 4, eliminate the pressure. You eliminate pressure and deer will come. You have cover, you have browse in an area where there's farmland, the deer will come because the corn is gone. They can't hide it anymore. The tall crops are gone. They can't hide in that anymore. The fields are bare. They're going to move to the areas that have least pressure with the proper cover that provides browse. So I think it's pretty simple. We've had pretty good success doing this over the years. It's only 12 acres, but we see a lot of deer coming through it. It's fun. You could do it. I've been doing it. There's no reason why anyone can't do it if you just follow some simple steps. Make the cover, maintain the cover, provide the food, and eliminate pressure. Most importantly, you've got to eliminate pressure.